Welcome to a session with Errol Musk for the channel Dad of a Genius. Errol, I believe you're going to reflect on Biden in Arabia today.
Yes, I would like to say a few words about Biden being in Arabia. Now, Biden is in Arabia apparently to cement relations and so forth. And also, I imagine, I read, to obtain more oil from the Saudis. Now, this whole thing makes absolutely no sense to me. The United States of America has more oil reserves than the rest of the world, or as much as the rest of the world. It seems absolutely insane to me that they would be wanting to get the oil from somebody else on the grounds that by taking oil from the United States geographical area has something to do with global warming, which is laughable. Because the same people are going to be drilling elsewhere for that oil, so it makes no sense whatsoever to just cut the United States out. And now, no doubt, also, China, it appears, can do whatever they like. So, I find that very, very, very strange. Biden himself, to me, appears incoherent, totally incoherent. There's no way that this man is in a position to be president of anything, never mind the United States. The whole thing is really not very good. Now, I've read about how bad the Biden, or supposedly how bad the Biden family is, socially, and the son and so on. I couldn't care less about that. Let him live his life the way he likes. But I do find it strange that from the Ukraine he was getting at least $80,000 a month for something he didn't know anything about. So you have to be a little bit retarded not to figure out that something really odd is going on there, and that there is a serious problem in the Ukraine, which then brings us to this Ukraine war. And we are being brainwashed to be told that Ukraine is good and Russia is bad, and yet they have found multiple bioweapon laboratories belonging to the United States in Ukraine. The Ukraine is led by a stand-up comedian who became president, which is extremely odd to me. I wish him good luck, but it's extremely odd to me. Then I would say, if you look at Biden himself, he's obviously not running the United States. The United States must be, it appears to me, is being run by a bunch of misfits who are getting revenge for having been treated as misfits over the years. That's what it appears to me to be. It is being run by a bunch of misfits who are getting revenge for being treated as misfits over the years in the United States. So those are my thoughts. Those are simply the way I see things. If we come to COVID, for example, we have a situation there where 99.8% of people who currently get this virus, I'm certainly not injected for this, recover, which means it has a better recovery rate than flu, and yet the 7.5 billion people are being pushed to have the mRNA injection. So I don't find that very appealing. And then we are told, without any shame on the part of these foundations, and which include people like Bill Gates, that the world's population should be 500 million to be in link with nature, or in sync with nature, let's say. Well, the fact is that people may not know this, but if you take all the people of the world and stand them side by side, and you could take a small hill in your area, in your vicinity, and everybody in the world would fit into that small, standing side by side, would fit into that small hill that is near where you live. Any small hill that you live nearby, the entire population of 7.5 billion people would fit into that hill. So that changes the sort of idea that the world is crawling with humans. In fact, the vast majority of places like the United States, which I've traveled through extensively, are empty. Internal China is empty. One cannot take areas that are densely populated and then say this is the world. That is not the world. The world is mostly unpopulated. And I'd like to say something further about the COVID. I think there's something wrong. It doesn't make sense. In 2020, on the 27th of March, Dr. Montagnier, who was the discoverer of the HIV, it's a HIV virus, or human immunodeficiency virus, and for which he received the Nobel Prize, said that having looked at the virus, it contains strands of malaria and strands of HIV. Now this is written down, it's on record, it can be sourced, you can find it, and it's out there for anybody to check. And so it's not news. I'm just repeating what I've seen myself and heard from him. And he said this could never have occurred in nature. So what are we to believe? I would like to believe the authorities, but I'm inclined to think there's something wrong. And then what Dr. Montagnier also said about the vaccine, he said that if you, in 2020, on the 27th of March, that if you inject people with mRNA, you will in fact cause a antibody deficiency to them. In other words, their immune system will be weakened if you give them the injection. And so he said this. I'm simply repeating what he said. Could lead in time to many people simply dropping dead, and we are seeing that. We are seeing athletes dropping dead, and if this is a thing I may not say on YouTube, I don't know, but there is right next to my current episode on YouTube, an episode by Steyn, in which he says exactly the same thing. In fact, he shows on this episode the people who have discusses the matter with people who have lost loved ones after taking the injection. So I think that we need, as a nation in the world, to look at these things with a more open mind, because there is, in my opinion, something wrong, and it needs to be corrected. So I'd like to finish on a couple of points. Biden and his administration have sent large quantities of the United States strategic oil reserve to other countries, particularly to China. Now, no one in their right sense does anything like that. The second thing I'd like to say is that I have seen a video of Biden saying that he chooses not facts, but he chooses the truth. He chooses the truth over facts. So I must say, he has me there. I have no idea what this person thinks. And if somebody out there can tell me, can explain it to me, I would be most grateful. Thank you.